Congressman Eric Paulsen with us now. This is a big deal, Congressman, because the Senate wants to repeal the Obamacare mandate, and Paul Ryan says he's okay with it in his House version of tax plan. Are you?
Well, I think what the Speaker is saying is that the House is going to act on historic tax reform, debate tonight, and vote tomorrow. We don't include that provision, even though we have repealed it a couple of times already. But the Senate's never been able to get that across the finish line. So rather than focusing on that difference, we know we're going to pass tax reform. Yeah. The Senate's going to have to put something together, and we'll see what happens, and we'll work that out in a compromise in a conference committee.
Yeah, but Paul Ryan is saying, hey, we could accept the Obamacare repeal as in the final reconciliation. That sounds promising.
It's certainly possible because we've already voted on that in the House several times. But I do think we don't want to put any pressure taking shots at their bill. We got to see how that process works. You know, the Senate floor vote may be very different than the Senate committee vote as well, as they're modifying their bill, and they're expected to approve that in committee in the Senate tomorrow afternoon before their Senate floor action in a week.
Do you think that we're going to get a House deal done, a Senate deal done, a reconciled deal done, the President signs it before Christmas?
I really do. I feel so optimistic about it because normally when a bill of this magnitude comes through after 4 days of open hearings in the daylight in Ways and Means Committee, there are still modifications that will be made before it comes to the House floor. There was such enthusiasm and energy behind the bill coming out of the Ways and Means Committee. There are no modifications in the Rules Committee going to the House floor. So we're on a pretty quick track to get this right and then get the Senate under pressure to act too.
And if you did that, if, for example, you got it done by the end of this year, and maybe also the Obamacare mandate repeal, that's a double win for the President, and then you got all of next year to work on something that's very popular, both sides of the aisle, which is infrastructure. I mean, that's a pretty rosy outlook, isn't it?
Well, absolutely. And look, this is about getting some things done. And then plus, if we get all this completed before January 1st, we'll have a new tax year with predictable certainty for all of our employers to invest in their people, new equipment, improve productivity, wages go up, pay raises for employees. This will be what our economy and our country is really hoping for.
Can you see the light at the end of the tunnel, Congressman?
I do.
You do?
I do. And I'll say why. Look, even on the differences in the House and the Senate bill, we're still going for a 20% corporate tax rate so we can actually bring jobs back home to the United States. We're looking at small business reforms to actually help our Main Street employers compete around the world with new technologies. So we're moving in the right direction with a lot of opportunity.
But you know, there's a great deal of opposition in New York and New Jersey and California because of the doing away with the SALT deduction. What do you say?
Yeah. Well, and even some of the members, though, in those delegations are supportive of our bill because we do keep mortgage interest deduction. We also keep SALT deduction for property taxes up to $10,000. And look, in a conference committee, there could be additional modifications to address those legitimate concerns.
Got it. Eric Paulsen, I do want to thank you very much. You were on the show last week, and you spilled the beans about the House details of their tax plan before anybody else got it. And, sir, our ratings were fantastic. Thank you very much indeed. Eric Paulsen, you can come on this program anytime you like, okay?
Stuart, I made a note in my notebook that I helped on that effort that day. Yeah.
Good. You did. Congressman, thanks for joining us, sir. It is appreciated.
Thank you.
Thank you.